Okay, now, okay, so good thing I didn't do anything yet. Okay, so here, again, buttons. This is where we're gonna start. Buttons, buttons. That's a low, and it's fast. This is a mid, and it's huge. Boop, boop. See how he advances like a real karate punch? Then you have LL. Okay. LL. So, this is death. This, they can't guard cancel. That's what's good about it. You can't guard cancel it. That's really nice. And then his third hit of his auto combo pulls him out of the corner, which is important, and we can go back later and talk about that. His 2M is a slide. It's pretty low, and it doesn't go as far as other slides, but it's far enough that you can use that as like an anti-reflex string, kinda. His 5M hits kind of high. This is mostly a combo tool and pressure tool, like that's it. The other thing you need to know about his medium moves are the frame data at a base is not good. So it's -10 to -8. Then we have his heavies. So this is 17. So the first thing you need to know is you can't chain into it, but it's a really big move. It hits from really far because he takes a big step. His 2H is a grounded 2H, it's kind of nice. 13. He also has a lot of extra moves. So on the ground, it would be 6S, 5S, and 6H, and 3H. So this is 3H. Okay. It has head and roll, so you can be holding down back and do 2H, and if they go over you, you get 3H, just like a Gohan. His 5S is better. It's like a better version of a Gohan's, because it hits crouchers. And it gels into vanish. You just have to get used to the range of it. The max range is like around here. Yeah. So where the shockwave, you see where the shockwave whips? Is where it goes. He advances during it too, which is kind of nice. His 6S is anti-air. This is legitimate a key blast. It's made to beat jumps. Like that. And it has a boomerang that you can do like that. So if they block it, you can... Oh, looks like did it too fast, but... You can do stuff with assist to like keep them down on the ground, like... Stuff like that. And the last is his 6H. So this is a cross-up move. It's kind of slow, but the actual cross-up part of it is really fast. So like the move itself is slow because he doesn't move. And this is a normal too, so you have cancel options off this. You have cancel options off this, kind of nice. All the usual stuff. This leads in like 30%. It's kind of hard to use though. Like all I can say is that it's not a move you use to actually open people up, really. I think of it like there are spots where you can like okie doke people for not being gritty, but for the most part, I like using it with an assist because it travels full screen. Okay. There's also the super dashes on the ground. So he has a bunch. So this is his normal one. This is the 4 super dash. This is the, where do we go? 3 super dash, 2 super dash, and 1 super dash. So all the down super dashes, 1, 2, and 3, they kind of send him on these like high angles, like super jump angles. The ground one, so he has 4, and he has 5. 6 doesn't do anything. 6 gives you dash. 9 gives you IAD, and then 8 and 7. 7 gives you the 4, and 8 doesn't give you anything. So he only has 5 super dashes on the ground, right? This is a super dash that has no recovery. His normal one, the 5-1, has landing recovery. That's what's kind of bad about it. They also go through key blasts in a major way. So unlike a normal super dash, and I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of this. Maybe I shouldn't set him on random. But unlike a normal super dash where you graze, so the person who is doing the key blast can like cancel into shit. His super dash does not graze on the ground at all. He just ignores you. So if he does it, then the person who's doing key blast can't do anything at all. So you can do shit with this, like punish from up here. You can punish like this. This is the punish I like to use more often. But it makes it so that he can move without having to worry about ki blasts, which is really, really nice. They have to either like use an assist, use like beams or something. They have to do like something else to stop him from moving that's not ki blast. There's also other stuff for defense that we'll talk about later. The other ones, so the down ones are just for getting you up in an angle in the air. So the 3-1 I personally use to stop ki blast zoning straight up. The 2 and 1-1, I use 1 basically for tech and throws more than anything else at this point. And the 2-1 is for like corners escapes in general. The other thing you need to know about 3 is that it goes over them always. Always goes over them. Same with the 2, by the way. These are important too because he can't super jump float, but he feels, I don't know if it's like confirmed that he's floatier than other characters, but he feels floatier than other characters. So if you want to, instead of using super jump float, you use his ground super dashes instead to get to these spots in the air to be hard to catch. Air buttons. So his air buttons pretty straightforward too. So like he has a sword normal, is what I want to say. He does though. There you go. It's a horizontal jab, unfortunately. It would be nice if it was a downward jab, but it's whatever. He has JM, nothing too special here. This JH is actually pretty good. It's really big. It hits kind of deep, which is kind of nice. He has a J4M, so this is like the first special normal he has. So it lets him do cross-ups where otherwise he would not be able to do cross-ups, which is kind of nice. It also helps to bring people down from the air to the ground when you go over them. That's also kind of nice. He has a ki blast too. It has some landing recovery. But if you combine it with stuff, then it doesn't matter that much. I don't use it too much, but other Roshi players use it quite a bit. He has J2H, which is like Beerus's. So again, alternate air movement. And then he has 2 ways of going from the air to the ground. Or technically 3, but one of them is bad, so I'm not going to mention it. So one is J2M. Another is 2S, which I forgot to talk about on the ground, but I can talk about it now. I use 2S more going from air to ground than other spots, because if the opponent is doing stuff, and here's a pretty good example, you can like cancel the 2S. This 2S is cancelable into special moves, buttons, so like heavy buttons, and super dash. Oh, it's because I'm not getting the super dash. There you go. So you see that? So it's tough to do against Broly, but it's something you can do. As long as you land it in the right way, because this is invincible to ki blast, you can cancel it and be safe on landing, because people will try to throw ki blast at you when you land with that move, but they can't actually do it to you. So there's the other case where they'll do this and like pull up on you really hard. So you see them pulling up on you, you cancel it into your armor or your DP if you're really feeling it, and you'll be fine. It's a really versatile move. It takes a little getting used to using, but it's a really, really good versatile like air move. I think air super dash is reverse kame, so there's 2 ways of looking at it. So he has this direction, that's his neutral one. This is back, this is 1 and 2. Sorry, 2 gives you the 3-1. I don't usually use 2 to do it though. This is 2 and 3, so you go down forward. 1 makes you go down back. 7 makes you go upwards. 8 and 9 make you go up forwards, right? So you have up forwards, back, down back, and down forward. So there's 2 ways of thinking about this. So one is like you can just go in like a normal super dash, but you have to aim it. It's +5, so you get to press buttons after, and he doesn't bounce off. So for instance, like if someone blocks this and you have an assist, you get a 50-50 like right away. Very easy. Another thing, of course, is that it beats ki blast. So, but unlike the ground super dash, it grazes, but it's faster. But it's not just about going right at them. The shit is a beam, right? So you can also use it as a zoning tool. So we see characters like GT Goku, for instance, he has his beam that goes like up, that he aims upwards, right? So if you use the downwards kame, you could do the same thing with him. It has land recovery, but combined with an assist, you control a lot of space with it. Or you can do the cell angle beam as well, combined with an assist. and you have a lot of screen control that way. On top of that too, they can't do Ki Blast to you because you're gonna graze the Ki Blast, but you're going away from them, so they can't cancel it into like 2H and hit you, which I think is pretty strong. Special moves, he also has a bunch. So this is Lariat. It's okay. It's the definition of okay. It goes through people, which is really nice for getting out of the corner, for switching sides and stuff. It doesn't go full screen per se. The best use I've found for this personally, besides punishing whiffs and stuff, is something I see Vegito players do a lot, where they do like this and call an assist into like a mix-up. He has like that style of thing that you can do, which is kind of nice. You don't even need to use the hop; you can just do it. It travels pretty far in the air. I think it's pretty good. That's probably like the best use of it. It doesn't have any special properties really, so it's just a standard Lariat. The thing is though, he gets really high return off this, and of course if your back's to the corner, you can do a side swap combo with it, which is really nice. He also has this. It's 2-on-4, right? The armor. This move is honestly, there's no way to put it. It's a really crazy move. It's we'll put him on all guard so you can see it. So it's -5. The L and M1s are the same. The only difference is that the M1 gives you a cinematic and the L1 does not. And then the EX1 is a DP that is like -15 and punishable. But if you have, so on my team I don't have one, but there's some teams where you can cancel to Mafuba and cancel to another super, like a base Goku super for instance, and be safe. So if you have this on your team, mashing DP with him is mad good. It's like crazy good, actually. There is a couple of weaknesses of it, where the main thing being is that the hits are not airtight, so the opponent can like do shit. So if I set the opponent to do, say, yeah, and then you can be punished, right? But you can, there's a lot of variation and timing on stuff you can do. You can hold it and smoke them for it. You can hold all of them and smoke them for it. And you can super cancel, sorry, at a bunch of different spots. And on top of that too, because this is not a frame 1 reversal, you also have the option of calling an assist after once they do it. So it's really strong. Then we go to 2-2. So 2-2L hops back, 2-2M hops forward, EX, well, EX, he does in place. Okay. So the main thing about these are that they're low crush, so and they're really fucking fast. They're 8 frames. And this is low crush frame 1. Yeah, so the easy example is because he goes airborne into stuff. But there's other things you can use it for too. So you can like space yourself with it. So I'll make Broly. Broly's actually a great example because of how huge it is. Oh, whoops, hold on. Let's do it like this. Right? So you can use it to like space yourself certain ways. You can use it in spots where, here's another example, because people be doing this sometimes. So like in a spot where I try to backdash, instead like, and then he's gonna take a lot of damage. It's a pretty tricky to use move. You need like a pretty specific spot to use it. The nice thing is that there's spots, like if they're baiting your DP a lot, you can use the 2-2 instead. And the 2-2 moves have much higher return than the DPs. So of course, I'd have to do this, I think. Just a baby combo. So it's gonna do like, the max damage combo of this probably does like 30%. But if you hit like this, I'll do baby combo. It's gonna be like 40, somewhat over 40%, 45%. The max damage combo is probably like around 50%. So the return is really high when you hit this or this. And similarly to the other moves, like the armor moves, for instance, since it's not an invincible move straight up, it's just like invincible to one type of thing, you can call assist after doing it. and they're all safe on block, which is really, really good. Then we have this, the command grab. It's a pretty slow command grab. That's one. That's where we start. It's pretty slow. It's 28 frames. It animates pretty oddly, though. You see how he's like moving his hands, so it animates similar to his auto combo. So mixing it with his auto combo is a pretty good way of using it. But it's not so fast that you can like establish really hard around it. So for that move, I recommend like don't use it too much. Like don't count on it to hit people. Also the return's not that high too. On top of that, just have it there as like an additional thing when you have other options you can use. That's probably the best thing I can use to explain it. Am I forgetting moves? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, Thundershot Surprise and Beam. Okay. My dude is old, so he has a lot of special moves. Beam is a beam. There we go. Beam is a beam. Let's talk about Thundershot. Okay, because there's a lot of cool shit about this move. So this is a really fucking dope move. We already mentioned 6H. We did mention 6H. So he has this move. It's called Thundershot Surprise. It's an air unblockable grab, basically. I said that weird. It's a grab in the air. So the main ways you get around it is you stay on the ground, you go over it, or you backdash it in the air. Those are the main ways you beat it. The thing is, though, it reaches from full screen, and it'll bring them over to you. So you can use this as like a kind of way to discourage them from jumping, which will make neutral way easier for you to play. So if you see them like hopping around a lot, like don't fish for it to move too much, but if you see them hopping around kind of like with not a care in the world, you can try to like sneak one of these in there. Also, if you have like a beam assist to like keep them down and they jump, you could also use that. Because if they're trying to get over it, once you do a beam, all they could do is go above it and then, right? You can crouch this. It hits people standing, but you can crouch this, so it's not like something you're going to try to hit people with. But the other actual super important thing about this too is that if you use it really early in a combo, it makes your combos do way more damage. And we're going to use this as an example. So this is like a normal 2H combo. So I did like 3.7. Okay. Right, easy 5.4 for just like one assist. It's also how you do like TODs with him. I'm not gonna do one right now because Gotenks a weird hitbox. But when you spark after, the spark whiffs. So if you get like hits, early hits, or like good starters like M's and stuff, you should go into 2H into Thundershot Surprise to maximize your damage. And it's one of the reasons why he does a ton of damage. And I think that's all his special moves. Oh, the other thing is that you can aim this up, which is nice for if they're going above you / if they're in the corner. I don't play a team where I end combos with DR into this. By the way, I don't know if you have to end it like aim it up or not, but just something that you might have to keep in mind for your combos. So let's talk about assists next. We'll keep moving. So we will touch on all his assists because we should. So he has beam, pretty standard beam, but his has more blocks on, which is kind of nice. And it hits like Tien, so it is a little freeze and a wall bounce. So there are a lot of spots where it can be easier to convert certain things because of the wall bounce. Mostly super dash though. You don't really see people using this assist because he has this. And this assist is this is my shit. Real talk. This is my shit. Why? Because it is a 2-hit defensive assist that is really easy to combo and has 46 frames block stun. It's a really crazy assist and has a guard point on the first hit, so that if they hit the guard point, he'll absorb it and hit them. This is mainly, if people are playing Roshi, they're mainly playing him for this assist. I'm gonna quickly touch on his C assist before we actually talk about the B assist, but his C assist is a 50 frame block stun tracking, full screen tracking move. It's his auto combo into 3H, but the one that people are really talking about is this one. So there's just a lot of applications for this assist. Where do I begin? So the first thing that this assist does is that if you call it in a place where you can't see what's going on, it can like help you. So it's like Yamcha and Yamcha A and like UIA in that regard. So like you can be up here, your opponent is going ham, so you call him, and then you bank on him to give you time to see what's going on, because he'll catch any attack, right? And then you get a combo. That's one. Of course, he gives not every character mix up, but you should be able to find something because he has a lot of blocks on it. It's 46 frames. He has enough, since he's 2 hits, you can do like this and get like a 50-50 if you do it right. So the number in the parentheses is your frame advantage on landing. So your goal is to get that number to say 7. If that number says 7, like that, that means you got it so that you actually get an airtight 50-50. It takes some practice, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that easy to do. It does take some practice. Because of how he works too and how the game works, we can also use him. This is actually a little harder there as an anti-air, where like because moves have such big hurt boxes. So this move is not like so big, but you can hit a button from kind of far, and it'll still absorb it. So you can use it as like an anti-air, so you can use it to be like super dash. You can use it when they're above you, you don't know what they're gonna do. You can call it and like crouch and hide under it and see what's going on. There's a lot of like defensive applications for it. You can also do stuff like if people do this. So when they try to do like approach with a neutral assist, you can also use it in that spot, because he's either gonna absorb their assist and turn around, or like he's gonna like stop them. Like you can use it to counter call beam assist as well, which is really, really strong. What most people will do once they're used to playing against him is they're gonna run away from you. I think that's probably the main weakness of it, is that like there'll be spots where you want to call it, but then the other your opponent picks run away instead of like doing something. So in those spots you have to be like, okay, my opponent knows that I'm gonna call him, I need to go chase them. And if you can do that like once or twice a game, it'll give you like a really big buff. Being able to use his assist really well is pretty important to him, because honestly, you're mostly picking him for that assist. Like he's good, but it's the assist that really pushes him up. So you need to get good at using that assist and making each one of those calls really worth it and really threatening. So we're gonna talk about neutral with him. So personally, I sort of think he needs a full screen assist. Because of, so like when he's on the ground, so in the air he's not as mobile technically as other characters, or as, yeah, that's a good way of putting it, because he can't float. So they gave him a lot of air mobility options, but like some of them are like kind of committal, some of them have like landing recovery like this or like this. So I think you really do need a full screen assist to like complement him. That would really help. At least the way I approach him, I either stay really low to the ground, like I don't jump around too much. If I notice my opponent jumping around too much, then we use Thundershot Surprise. So we want to get them grounded because he has a lot of ground tools. If I'm not sure if they're going to jump a lot, I'm going to use success with assists. Besides that, you use your ground super dashes to move around and just check what they're doing. They also cannot throw Ki Blast at you while you're doing this, so this is pretty good. If they do start throwing Ki Blast at you on the ground like this, then, like especially multi, you definitely use the super dash to move, to just get out of there. You try to stay a little bit mobile. You can try to force your way in with this super dash. He's not a common character, and so people aren't used to anti-airing it. At the worst right now, most people will like reflect you. If you have an assist, or if you think your aim is good, you can use the reverse Kame as an approach to get in like that. That jails, so like you just get in. Now, if you are unsure, so you need the confidence to be able to use the armor in neutral, because they gave him a bunch of tools to make sure he doesn't get rushed down really hard. Probably the toughest thing about picking him up was that like there was a type of player that would just like go in on you really hard, and characters had stuff like traveling moves or like just really huge buttons like Broly and stuff. So the way you discourage them is you use the armor to discourage them, and it's safe on block. So if you have an assist, then you can use that. And if you don't have an assist, you can still dice roll them as long as they're close. So being able to use this as a poke in neutral is pretty important, and you can use it as an anti-air as well because it beats super dash, it beats tag. If they block it in the air, then you're plus. There's a lot of good things about using it. Besides that, I don't think there's really anything else for him in neutral. Just be patient. You can't like bully your way in with super dash normally, so you kind of like, since he can cover basically all the angles, / he has an anti-air, like a straight up anti-air, you can discourage people a lot as long as you play patiently. He has pretty good DHCs and he does a lot of damage, so when you hit them you got to make it like count a lot. So we will talk about combos real quick. He has a combo that you do to almost everyone. This is a B&B. You can use 3H if you want. This is, of course, if you're going into the corner. You need to pay attention to the corner, how far away you are from the corner, because he can't do this. There's like a spot where he can't do this, and you have to pick something else. When I don't know how far away I am from the corner, I do this, which is, it does no damage, but also, whoops, you gotta use JS, but it does no damage, but you'll guarantee get the knockdown, which is kind of nice. If you get a hit and you want to use your assists, you definitely want to combo into Thundershot. This does so much damage for basically no reason. So if you get like a good starter, or if you just want to like combo with an assist in general, I suggest that, unless you have a way to add this to the end of your combo. My team, I can't do stuff into ground Dragon Rush, so I don't know how much damage that does comparatively, but this is basically like my I want to do damage with assist combo. The first combo I showed you doesn't work on like Krillin, GT, Kid Buu, 18, and like Beerus and himself and maybe one other character. So when you're playing against those characters, you can pick this. Let me try again. You can pick this route, type of route. Like that, going to J2H. There's a slightly more advanced version of it, but I don't recommend learning it. I think it's pretty inconsistent. You can like do 2 successes. I think this one that I just showed is like much more consistent. Or you can just go with the combo I showed before, where you just go into 5H and keep it simple. It's fine. So his corner combo, he has a bunch of options he can do. I basically have like 2 main routes I use in the corner. One is this one. This is like a compromise combo, where it's not the most damaging combo, but it does a lot of damage and it's not that hard. You have this. You also have this. This is a kind of a I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna do it type of combo. Those are like his main combo options. When his back's to the corner, he can side swap. Pretty simple side swap. Just remember for this that you can't do like a ton of hits and then do the super dash extension. If you have like a lot of hits before you do the side swap, don't do super dash in the middle of the combo. For any time you do 2H, if possible, do this. Because even if you go into Vanish, you'll still get a lot of meter. So if you do 2H, just really make it a habit to combo into Thundershock if possible. The last thing I want to talk about with him is defense. Because the first thing we have to consider about his defense is his super dash, because it doesn't graze Ki Blast. So what this means is that when you're blocking, you can, instead of like going straight at them, which is what every other character would do, if you do this in a good way, I'm trying to like, I have the 5H there because the 5H is what hits it, just like any other super dash. But if they go for like nonsense, right, you can just get out of the corner like that, just to show it. It's fine. same, right? He doesn't graze it, he just goes through. So a lot of stuff like that, he can like slip out of. So 1, he has that. 2, he has this. So this is a 4 frame. As I mentioned before, that's safe on block. That even though there's a gap, he can dice roll by holding it, and it's cancelable into supers with variable timing. It's pretty hard to deal with. As I mentioned before, the L and the M1 are the same basically, just the M1 has a cinematic. So you use the M1 when he's alone, basically, and use the L1 when either you want to spin a bar like that or you want to call an assist. That's the main difference between the two. So you have that, and you have to remember too that since this has armor on it, safe jumps that people do, they have to do like a perfect safe jump to safe jump it, or else they're gonna get hit by that. And it's frame 1. So then, if they're looking for that stuff, you can use super dash to get out, or you could do the 2-2. And the 2-2 is, so this is like 17, so it's kind of slow. The 2-2 is like 8 frames, so it's really fucking fast, and the return is higher than DP. They're doing like stuff like that to you a bunch. But then also, oh, I mean, it's gonna reach when I'm crouching, so. Okay, so. Into really big damage. So if you this last thing, I'm trying to add this more to my game personally. If you add block plus the system mechanics, so like blocking, reflect, stuff like that, with your armor move, your 2-2, and your super dash, his defense is mad strong. And remember, he does a lot of damage on top of that. So when you hit them, it really hurts, and he almost always puts you in the corner.